everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenney and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenney from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have the producer and director of The Waterhorse Legend of the Deep with us. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Doug?
Doing fabulous. Where are you at the moment?
I'm in my office, enjoying a very warm day here in Los Angeles on what is it, December 19th. So little warmer than usual today.
Yeah. I'm guessing that it's really cold where the story of the Loch Ness Monster takes place.
I suspect it is. In fact, when I first started scouting for that movie, we were scouting in December, I believe, and we got snowed in. We were supposed to only go up for a couple of days, and we had to stay 2 more days because the only road in and out of where we were was completely snowed under. So, yeah, they have a real winter there.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone, The Waterhorse Legend of the Deep came out in 2007 in theaters. It was shot in Scotland, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand, and it's produced by the same company behind the Chronicles of Narnia, and it's about a young boy who encounters the legend of the iconic Loch Ness monster. Although in this movie he's portrayed as being somewhat of a pet-like figure, and the boy doesn't know the full scale of the legend until he develops his friendship with the Loch Ness monster that he names Crusoe. So yeah, it's a great movie. You should check it out, everyone.
Thanks.
So Jay,
Yeah, that's a good description.
yeah. So Jay, what got you into filmmaking?
Well, I kind of started as a kid. My parents had a Super 8 camera going way back to old school, and it shot Super 8 film. And so, I when they weren't around, I would take the camera without their knowledge and start making little movies, and almost all of them being really graphic horror movies. I had like a fake rubber hand, and so there was always a character getting their hand chopped off. So. Yeah, so I started, making little movies probably around 8, 9 years old, and it was more of a hobby. I thought I wanted to be a musician actually, and was a musician all the way through college. But then I was still making short films and so forth even then, and it just finally came to the point of like I like this better, and I think I'm better at it than I was as a musician. So I just pursued it and was lucky enough to get into a good film school and sort of wrote my way into the director's chair. I did a lot of writing when I was in school, and that's kind of the short version. It's a long journey for any filmmaker to get to make films on a larger scale.
Yeah, for sure. Since you mentioned that in some films it involves the hands being chopped off, does that mean that the scene where Crusoe almost bites the hand of Angus McMorrow was that part of your shtick?
Well, I've made a number of films that were aimed at kids and families, and I always had this sort of theory and impression that you shouldn't talk down to kids. I mean, my favorite movies when I was a kid, you know, they would get emotional or they would be scary, and so you would go on the whole ride even if you were a kid. And so when I made Waterhorse, I wanted that same thing because that's how you involve kids. I watched the movie with kids when it was in the theaters, and I would see them just like sit up in their chair, especially when it would get scary, and they would lean back and cling on to their parents. And I thought, yeah, that because I was, some on the studio level tried to talk me out of of being too scary. And I thought, no, that's how you draw kids in. I mean, if you look at especially the old Disney movies, a lot of them are really scary, and emotional, like something like Old Yeller and so forth. So Yeah, I wasn't afraid to get a little scary at times in Waterhorse.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.